Hey guys, welcome back. Box Thief Part 2 of the Dr. Pepper can build video. If you haven't seen Part 1, you've got to go see Part 1 before you see Part 2. The link's in the description. Check it out. But this is Part 2 video. We've got the hand painted, I believe, first video, and the teeth. Just got to put it together now. If I'm right. I think I am. Get the drill bit out. There's an indentation in the top teeth. You'll see it about where I'm drilling. You're going to want to drill a hole there. This is if you're making the night light. This still the LED can get in there. Shine. You want to drill a hole. If you mess up the paint job a little bit in there, it's okay. You can touch it right back up. I drilled a pilot hole. Now I'm going to go with a bigger bit. I don't know what size it was, but you're going to want to drill the hole because you're going to drop an LED from the top. Just like that. And clean up around them edges. Test fit it. I'm going to glue it in permanently. Forever. Make sure you have a lot of hot glue. We'll just hold it up in there. Squirt some glue in there. And get it in the right spot and hold it there until the glue cools down and hardens up. Once it does and it's in place, just go around the edges. You don't have to particularly be neat about this because this is, a dirty, disgusting can monster. So, and run the LED wire through the bottom of the can there. Then we're going to want to put some hot glue in there to hold the wire down on the back. And that wire back there, don't worry about it. It'll be hidden by the spine and more hot glue and paint. So just get it in there, glue her down. Then for the bottom LED, just run that down through the hole also. Put it in a spot that it'll shine up through the back of the can there, but not in plain view. And then I'll run some glue down there to kind of hold it in place and fill the hole down there. Did I mention glue the rock down to the bottom too? Glue the rock down to the bottom. Then just fill her up back there with glue. Just don't put glue on the LED. I don't know if it'd hurt anything if you did, but I don't think so. Then I'll glue around the bottom. If you have a grommet, use a grommet. If not, use some hot glue. Now I've got the spine in there. I did have to cut it down quite a bit to fit in there. The spine that I had, if you watch the first video, is great for the longer cans, the monster cans, but the short cans, you're going to have to definitely cut it down for the teeth and the tongue to fit in. Now I'll take the tongue, hot glue it up, set it in there, position it to where I want it. And there you go. You got the tongue in. So the teeth and the tongue are in. Now I'll go in and hide that wire with some hot glue. Put hot glue anywhere you want to hide anything down in there because you're going to paint it anyway. Let's get on with the base. All these files are down in the description. The Thingiverse. Take a power cable. It's the barrel type. Get them on Amazon. Cheap. Get that stuck in there. I'll push the remaining wire through the slot there. And then snip her off. About the size I need. Now I'll take the wires and strip them. Now I'm running 2 LEDs, so all I need is 5 volts. Make sure the LEDs you buy have a resistor in line already. If I can, I'll link those in the description also. Along with the barrel jack connectors and the toggle switch even. And what I'll do is glue this in place so it don't slip out. So I'll just lather up that jack with some of the good hot glue. Now for the top part, the switch goes in there. Should fit in there fine. If not, take a drill and drill it out a little bit. But get that switch in there. Tighten her up. And what we're going to want to do is determine about how much wire we need to tuck in there. Get rid of the excess and strip those. Get them ready. Now, if you're not making a night light out of this, then I wouldn't be worried. Here's a spacer. It's also in the files. This just lifts the can off the base a little bit. And it gives the can something to glue to. And a dowel rod. I'm not sure what size this is, guys. This is my first video. I'm not prepared. But let's get a dowel rod that will fit up in that hole nice. Nice and tight. Now we're going to position this on the base. Notice where I'm lining it up with the edge of the slot that's in there already. I'll put a straight edge on there so you can see actually where I'm lining it up. Just line it up with that. You can mark the hole in the middle. I did off camera. And you don't have to drill all the way through this thing. Just drill 1/4 of an inch down. Just wanting this dowel rod to basically hold it on there with some glue. Take your snipper, snip away so you have a nice little thing, and it just sits in there like that. Now you're only going to want about 1/4 inch of this dowel, so we're going to cut it real quick. I'll cut it off camera. There she is. Sand around the edges a little bit so it's going to fit down in that hole. Then what I'll do is make sure it fits. Hot glue the top so the dowel rod don't come out, and all around the bottom. Push it in there. Line her up a little. And it's in there. Now we're going to take the wires for the can itself to the LEDs. And we're just going to slide it through that little canyon that I made. Just to get in there. Pull it through. Once it's pulled through, we're going to want to get this just so it lines up with the bottom of the base. And you'll know when it does. It'll just kind of, it fits perfectly in any regular can. Monster can, soda can, beer can. It's right in there. Like that. Kind of line that up how you want it. And get ready to lather her up with some hot glue. Go around the edge of the top there. Seat her on there. Get her on there straight. You can't really reposition it once you get it on. Take a look at it. Looking good. We'll proceed to the wiring. Now that we have all the ends stripped, this is pretty simple wiring. You're going to connect your positive on the barrel jack. Now the negatives are going to go to the switch. I get out some heat shrink, about the right size. You can use electrical tape, or if you're risky, don't use anything, but you're going to want to cover them wires. So I just use some heat shrink. We're going to want wire one side of the ground to the switch. Solder her up. Solder the positive over there. I'm going to take the heat shrink, get it over your solder, and hook up the other negative switch to the LEDs or to the barrel jack. Solder it up. I'm going to put some heat shrink on this positive side. Get the heat shrink on the other side there. Now we have all connections protected. Push some wires down in there to get this cover on. Just take some 3mm screws, bolts, get them in there. Now I use a 5-volt power supply. You can order on Amazon. Links below. I think it's 5-volt, 2-amp. Plug her in. Hit the switch, test it, make sure it's working. It's working great. Working great. Thumbs up. Now what? Well, the next step, we're gonna want to make this thing a little shiny. Put some shiny on it. So I'm gonna use some Alclad lacquer gloss. Just a gloss coat lacquer. Probably lots of products out there. I will see if I can put a link in the description for it. Use a nice clean brush. Soft bristled. Go over everything you painted in there. Just everything. You're going to want to make this thing like it just ripped open and it's wet. Now the camera just don't do this thing justice. I mean, as you'll see in the last shots of this, it just don't do it justice. This webcam don't. I wish I could get a better camera for these projects, and I'm going to try to do that. But yeah, just go over all the teeth, the tongue, all the parts you painted. Don't go over the can because it's shiny already, and you don't want to get any on the can because you'd have to do the whole can or you're going to see it. Yeah, just get the brush deep in there and get everything you can see around the teeth. If you want, let it dry for a couple hours and put another coat on there. If it's not wet enough. Yeah, I just pretty much get everything I can just so it's wet. What you want it nice and slimy looking. Get some on the top. Sure all your edges are covered. And there you go. I mean, it's a cool little fun project to do. It doesn't cost much. I mean, and it's kind of a cool little, uh, you know, conversation piece. It's kind of cool. But I appreciate you guys hanging around for the video. Like I said, the link to the 3D printed parts are in the description. Here's the finished product with a good camera. Appreciate you guys hanging out. The monster can. If you guys want, leave a comment down there. Let me know if you want to see more stuff like this. More builds. Maybe a spray can build. All right, guys. Thanks for joining me. Until next time, we'll see what's in the box.